With Season 4 we have absolutely zero changes for restoration druid gameplay. We are nerfed by 5% all healing, but it's changing nothing what we are doing, what we are clicking, anything. So let's start about stats. With the stats, I still don't have huge item level. Of course it will be much higher than this, so it will look differently, but most important stats is haste, and after that mastery. Then just choose critical versatility, whatever you want. Versatility is much better for dungeons, so usually you want to go dungeons, so you go more versatility than critical, but critical is useful too. With the haste we are going after a second haste cap, and that is 6800. So you should have at least that. Maybe with amount of stats we can have now, maybe we can go higher, but 6800 is a good spot to be. Then second diminishing is starting, so it's 20% less, and it starts after that. With mastery, the smaller raid group is, the more potent mastery is. Because with mastery matters how many hosts you have on current targets. And if you have 30-man raid, you usually spread rejuvenations on one rejuvenation on every target and you are happy. But if you are playing like 12 people in raid, then you have much less targets, and mastery is much more potent because you'll be stacking double rejuvenations on same targets and regrowths too from kill casting. So go higher if you are usually playing with smaller groups like under 15. If you're usually playing higher groups, bigger 30 plus, then go much less mastery. Of course, mythic is always 20, so for mythic at least 4000 mastery, 4000, 5000 boss in season 3. Maybe we can go for more now, but probably not, because when I was checking statistic, mastery uptime you have like 1.5 healing overtime odds on the target average. That's not that much, so I guess would be just go 4 to 5000 mastery and then rest to versatility and critical strike. I have quite and plus push talents, or rather that's what I'm saying even. Talent situation is very simple. Restoration druid, right side you always play the same thing, and on the left side only tweaks you can think about. I prefer to have Target's Dash, but you can change to Wild Charge if you prefer that one, and definitely go for Dispel if you need that Dispel. Usually you don't. Where to take points if you want something more in left tree, you can take from self-regeneration or sub-heal too. You are healer, you are healing anyway, so not so important in raid as in dungeons, because in dungeons there is more burst of damage. If you want exactly this talent, import link will be in the description. So now about rotation, priorities, gameplay, whatever you want to call it. First topmost priority is to keep a life room on yourself. Yeah, usually it's overheal, it will keep you safe too, but point of that is, if you have life room on yourself, one is down here, photosynthesis, while your life room is on yourself, your periodic heals heal 20% faster. And we are healing with periodic heals. That means this is absolutely crucial and massive. So keep on yourself all the time, all the time. If you're dropping, if it's close to drop, refresh it. Last 3 seconds you can refresh, the duration will be then added to maximum. So all the time, anything is happening, you keep life on yourself. Not only it will keep you safe, but of course at 20% faster heals. And that's really, really huge. Second priority is to have always efflorescence under the raid. Well, I said always. There is one reason to not put it under the group if group is moving way too much. So when you are fighting some bosses where you need to non-stop move whole group, and then will be few targets standing at least few seconds there, is not worth it because it's quite heavy on mana. Like I usually on Pirac, not mythic fights but heroic and lower, group is really moving in second phase. From one side, other side, this side, and efflorescence is just not worth it because it will be there for a few seconds and group will move anyway. So in that cases, just don't place it, but otherwise, most raid bosses, most people are standing on same place, so just keep it under the group. So third on the list is just using your Group Guardian because they are really cheap on mana, they are very effective, they are healing good targets, so they are not overhealing. They are changing targets, what is effective for that nourishes, so with somebody healing over time effects, they are changing targets by health, so there's absolutely massive tool. You just click it and you can forget it, they are healing on its own, and they will heal really big numbers. definitely never have 3 stacks, because that means no stack, no cooldown is recharging. So even not much is happening, click 1-3 if you have 3 stacks, because you want that cooldown going, and definitely it will heal something, and it's worth for that 2,500 mana. So just keep clicking them, short cooldown, very useful, not overhealing, massive, and don't keep 3 stacks. Next on the menu, we have Swiftment, and I usually say it's Swiftment plus Wild Growth, because that's usually most situations you want to do in raid. With Swiftment, you will heal some single target better, sure, but what we are going for, after you use Swiftment, we are getting Soul of the Forest buff, Regrowth Regeneration 150, and what we care about in raid is our next Wild Growth is increased by 50%. So in raid, definitely we want to focus on that part, because we want to heal a lot of people in raid, obviously. Of course, if somebody is dying more than others and you need to save some lives, just use it on single target healing, usually regrowth, because you are using that when you need to really save somebody. But most of the time, more people are dying, so you will use it with Wild Growth. When you are using Swiftment, you will also eat some healing over time effects, so ideally your regrowths. But if you don't have regrowths, then try to consume some shortest rejuvenations. Definitely not new ones, because you will quite waste a lot of healing. Wild Growth is a little bit shorter cooldown than Swiftment, but it's also costing you quite lots of mana. So ideally you want to empower it, and usually it will be just healing, and Swiftment will be just ready at the same time. But when it's ready, definitely use it. A little note about Swiftment, he is also giving you 1 stack from Reforestation talent, and on 3 stacks we are getting free Tree of Life for 10 seconds, our incarnation. That means even if we are not going to follow up with Wild Growth, or we don't need to heal AoE much, want to spare mana, not much is happening, you still should use at least Swiftment if you know you don't need it next 15 seconds. Just use it just to get 1 stack of Reforestation so we're close to the tree, because healing with our tree up is huge, massive gain of our health per second, and also saving you quite a lot of mana. Next priority we have our clear casting with regrowth, so every single heal from Life Bloom have chance proc clear casting state. Life Bloom you have just 1, not like 2 in dungeons, so you have a little bit less chance, but you are still getting it, and you have always Life Bloom on yourself, so it should be proccing quite often, like 10 times per boss fight, depend of course on how long is the boss fight. Clear casting is reducing mana cost of your regrowth by 100%. That's cool, but the whole point is about our set piece. We have the same as Season 3. So 4 piece is consuming clear casting now cause your regrowth to also cast Nourish, so it's another heal. Onto nearby injured ally at 200% effectiveness, preferring those with your healing over time effects, because Nourish have effectiveness increased with your healing over time effect, because Nourish have 300% mastery effectiveness. So it's even choosing good targets. And that Nourish is also 2 piece, and you and your Grooves Nourishes now heal 2 additional allies with 45 yards at 40% effectiveness. That means 80% more healing to that 200% effective Nourish. It's 40% each target. That means clear casting regrowth is a huge heal, that's the first part, and second part, clear casting regrowth is absolutely free of mana heal. So when you have it and there is something to heal, just use it. Even if there is nothing to heal and you are already have 2 stacks of clear casting, that's maximum, then use 1 stack, you will just spread some regrowth hot and it will be there for a few seconds, so maybe damage come later. But you don't want to sit on it because it's absolutely free. Alright, and now that's the main mechanic, because that's what we are not clicking and that's what we are planning in the raid. All of these things we should just do always. Always prepare this healing over time effects and efflorescence of the floor, and if you have also using. But now this is heal, we want to time for big bursts, don't use it when there is not much to heal to save our mana. And this is all about of your mana sustained, how much you will use rejuvenations. And that's quite how much you even heal in overall, because if you prepare a lot of rejuvenations and there is nothing to heal, then you just spend a lot of mana and everything is overheal. So you just need to, I guess, practice. You need to see where to prepare, where to start to prepare. Sometimes you need to start preparing 15 seconds before burst healing comes. And of course, it's quite sucks with the restoration druid that you need to prepare a long time before you can do burst healing for a whole raid. You need to spend already so much mana, and then when it comes and somebody will pop some cooldowns there, start healing much faster than you. Yeah, let's say a monk will place a revival there and with evoker rewind. The abilities are healing much faster than your restoration druid ability, so they will just take your healing. So it's also important to understand sometimes even if you plan it good, it's not performing. It's all about this rejuvenation spread, because everything else you are just going on cooldown and it's just what you do automatically. But rejuvenation planning is all key to how good you are healing the restoration druid. So rejuvenation planning is what you are thinking about when you are playing druid. Others should be automatic. And you really need to choose your fights. It's not like season 2, it was non-stop healing, blasting. Whole time everything was proccing, you had so much rejuvenation, then casting 3 of mana regrowth. No one can afford to do that. So we need to take some breaks, let's say. Not completely like you are stop healing, but we need to choose some moments in longer boss fight where we won't have as many rejuvenations applied, because we need to chill a little, because otherwise our mana would be absolutely destroyed. With that, planning of rejuvenations is very important to time your spam of rejuvenations into Tree of Life, your incarnation. Because if you have your Tree of Life up, you have 15% increased healing. That's nice, of course, we take that. But also our abilities have special effects. Our rejuvenation is healing 50% more, and it's costing 30% less mana. So spamming rejuvenations when we have Tree of Life and plan Tree of Life procs and also your cooldowns, then you need to spam a lot of rejuvenations is really crucial, because once, of course, 50% increase healing, absolutely massive, and also there is 30% mana reduction that is making absolutely awesome. So once again, all the mechanics you should have autopilot, and you are just thinking about Tree of Life procs and rejuvenation spam. And on the end, we have our little regrowth now without clear casting. And regrowth without clear casting, we are using only to save somebody's life. It's really not mana effective for raid content. Of course, you have some 60% mana reduction and 60% increased critical strike, so will do nice heal. And it's not that expensive, but still, rejuvenation is safer bet, and of course, rejuvenations beat Tree of Life. Because apart from rejuvenations, regrowth doesn't have extra mechanics, like rejuvenations can spread. Rejuvenations will increase the duration if it's healing over heal targets, and stuff like that regrowth is missing. So even if we compare just healing and will be same, rejuvenations is coming better because it can multiply, it can extend duration. So regrowth saves somebody's life. Ideally, when you are saving somebody's life, use nature swiftness that makes it instant and healing double. So summary, our priorities on the end. We are keeping always Light Bloom on us. We are keeping Efflorescence under the raid group, where there is most people. If you are moving too much that you will need to replace it every 5 seconds, let's say, just don't use it, then use it, then your raid stop moving. Third choice is Glow Guardian, never have 3 stacks, keep using them. They will choose their targets, they will heal without you. There are always good time to click them. If there is some more burst healing, you can keep more stacks for it, but usually just click it here, 1 tree here, 2 trees here. Then we are spamming our Bygrowth. Ideally after we use Swiftment, that will empower Bygrowth by 50%, but we are also using our clear casting regrowths because of huge heals to our set pieces with nourishes, and it's free of mana. After that, we are spamming our rejuvenations, really combine it with Tree of Life and think about it. Do I have Tree of Life? Where I should time it? That's all what it's really about. And if really somebody is dying right now, then choose that regrowth. Alright, cooldowns. First, Nature Swiftness, very easy, 1 minute cooldown. Your next regrowth is 100% healing more, and it's instant cast, and it's costing 0 mana. So use it if you need to save somebody's life. if you don't need to save somebody's life, it's not happening often, to be honest. Then just use it on cooldown when you need to heal something, to just use that free regrowth. It's free heal. In raid, you definitely accept some free heals. For a huge single target heal and really saving somebody, you can use Swiftman before. That will increase regrowth by 150%, and this is another 100% to that effectiveness. So combination, use Swiftman, click Nature Swiftness, and then huge regrowth. And that will definitely save somebody's life if somebody's close to be dead. Then we have our Flourish. Not as good as it was before, but still good. Before it was increasing our healing over time by 100%. Now we only have 25% increase. But hey, it's still increased your healing. So it's still decent worth healing cooldown. But I am usually saying think about it more about extending your actual HOTS. That is the same thing. If you are extending HOTS, you want to use it when you have many of them. If you are increasing their healing, you want to use it when there is many of them. So after you stop bursting, after you click many rejuvenations, and you really should cast Wild before it, ideally with Swiftment and Powered, then you cast Wild, and right after Wild stop casting, you are clicking that Flourish. Why? Because Wild is healing more on start of the duration, and the closer its duration is to the end, the less it's healing. So extending Wild on the start of the duration is absolutely massive healing increase. Then we have Tranquility. Of course, Tranquility, simplest explanation, you click it, you are healing everyone. But there is a little bit more knowledge about it. Like its healing over time effect is healing almost nothing. But what is important to realize, its healing over time effect is another healing over time effect. So guess what? It's increasing your healing to mastery. So when you're using Tranquility, you want to have some heals prepared. You want to use Wild before it because it will empower it. By that percentage of your mastery, I don't have much now, it will be increased healing by 12%. That's definitely worth noticing. But most of the Tranquility healing is happening when you are casting it, not with that healing over time effect. So I know a lot of people want to click Flourish because you have HOT on everyone, but that ticking HOT is the smaller part of Tranquility healing. So Tranquility timing is kind of the same as Flourish. If you don't have Flourish, you use Tranquility, or vice versa. Innervate is quite straightforward. If you use it, then you are not using any mana for 8 seconds. So squeeze as many casts as possible into the duration. Ideally is after you use Swiftment, because Swiftment is cheap on mana. Wild is not cheap on mana. So use Swiftment, that's cheap on mana. Then Innervate, and then you cast Wild because that's a really expensive ability, and then you're just spamming rejuvenations. Also, it's a good time to replace Efflorescence. It's quite expensive spell too, and it's instant. It's 7.5 mana saved. So as many spells to squeeze into it as possible. Ideally, if you are in a tree. Then our big cooldown is our Tree of Life. I'll talk about it already with rejuvenations, but there is a little bit more about it. It's also empowering our regrowth, making it instant. We don't care in raid. Of course, if you have clear casting, it's better because save time casting it. And Wild is healing 2 more targets, but we want to use Wild with Swiftment on cooldown. So if you have 3, if you don't have 3, it's just automatic, just use it. So Wild is simple. If you have it ready, you can cast it. You have 3, you are doing it. But we are focusing with the 3 to time it with the rejuvenations because Wild we are casting non-stop anyway, all the time. So that will be everything from me. If you want exactly same guide, just in text, just hop on my Discord, link is in the description. There is exactly same guide as here, exactly what I'm saying, every information is just in the text there. I'm actually reading it from there when I'm recording these videos. So anyway, thank you for watching, think about liking and subscribing, it's helping a lot, and goodbye.